Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Oh, hey there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessTrader.com nightly update show. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Thursday. You guys are probably saying, what the hell are you recording a video on Thursday? Reason why I'm recording a video on Thursday. Tuesday, I couldn't record a video. I had a basketball game for my daughter, so I figured there's some stuff to talk about, right? I usually use Thursdays to kind of decompress for the next day. A lot of stuff going on. Okay, number one, first thing I've learned today. Well, first of all, I learned yesterday, Golden Dome is a thing, right? Second thing I learned today, Elon Musk, if it's up to him, he would die on Mars. Hey, to each his own, right? Second thing we learned about Tesla is they are finally unveiling the Robo-Taxi rides without any safety monitors, and they are now available in Austin, Texas. The market obviously liked the news, right? We'll get to Tesla in a second. Big story right now is day two, right? Day two after the historic Greenland compromise. Okay, not really, but the market continues to go higher. You got the QQQs rallying. We talked about getting back above the 2040s level. This is now the highest close in this whole entire formation, which is very, very good. But after the close, we got a little bit of a curveball in the technology sector. Intel, who's been kind of revived, right? Again, there was a joke going around up to like 6-7 months ago, and it said, if you invested $1,000 into Intel in 1999, you would have $1,000 until the government decided to take a stake in Intel. Ever since then, the stock has been going higher. Unfortunately, after the close, they kind of guided lower, right? They warned of a soft quarter. Stock is down 6%, which is definitely setting us up for a potential range breakdown tomorrow for lower prices. You can see here the 5-day moving average held back-to-back days. This is the after hours lows. This is also yesterday's lows. Everybody kind of at this point understands that a backtest, the only way a backtest can start if it loses the previous day's channel. Now there is a catalyst. Now there is at least a reason for the bears to say, well, wait a minute. They got it lower, not a good thing. And now we have a definitive line in the sand, not one day, but 2 days back to back. So I'm definitely watching Intel tomorrow. Obviously, it's having a little bit of drawdown for other semiconductor stocks. And they, again, as a group, right, taking away MU, AMD, LRCX, SanDisk, right, taking those stocks away, the semiconductor group hasn't been great compared to the overall strength of the market. I'll give you an example. Take, for example, PLTR today, right? PLTR gapped up today 3-4 points on the news. They got upgraded. Well, the stock closed up 50 cents, right? Up 50 cents a day, considering the stock has been, just in the last 2 weeks, has gone from 188 all the way down to 161. The fact that it only was able to pacify the bulls with a 50-cent gain as an upgrade, well, that's not really a great thing. And obviously, if it gives back yesterday's channel, I got a pretty strong short on PLTR yesterday. If it can't rally on an upgrade, well, when the hell is it going to rally? And tomorrow, if Intel starts dragging down anything to do with semiconductor AI related, well, there's a potential trade for us on PLTR as well. So again, just something to kind of think about. If a stock cannot rally on an upgrade, well, when the hell is it going to rally compared to Meta today, right? Meta did get an upgrade today, and Meta, well, did rally today and rallied pretty aggressively. So again, you have the haves and the have-nots. Your opinion of a company, your opinion of a stock means absolutely nothing if the price action doesn't correlate to what you're thinking. Meta upgraded, rallied very aggressively today. I actually quoted on the opening range high today at the open versus PLTR, who pretty much faded back the whole day. So it's something very important to understand. But let's get back to Tesla, right? Let's get back to Tesla. So Elon Musk was talking today in Davos. Again, he made it the world known that if he has a choice, I want to die on Mars. hopefully he gets his dream. If you're that rich, what can't you do, right? But most important part is he came out, he started talking about the unsupervised driving ability of these robot taxis, and the market started bidding the shares up very, very aggressively, right? If you started seeing the options flow today, they started coming pretty hard. That's what I said. For the 445 weeklies, for the 450 weeklies, the 455 weeklies, and then you started to see very, very aggressive buyers coming in towards the end of the week. You saw the 457.50 weekly call buyers coming in for tomorrow's expiration, considering the stock closed at 449 and change. They are betting there's going to be another run going into tomorrow's expiration. Is that going to be a thing? Let's see. Let's see if we can brush off the Intel weakness after hours and see. But this was a very, very strong move today. And the importance of what we saw today in Tesla was it reclaimed back the 50-day moving average on the close. That's a big, big deal. The 50-day moving average was 442, and not only did it reclaim the 442 50-day moving average, it took out this whole supply zone here, and it closed right above the 20-day SMA. If it can start getting back above the 20-day SMA tomorrow and negate this kind of Intel weakness, the next spot is this 5430, which is the January highs. If it could get back above this 5430, then all those 457.50 call buyers that came in today at the close have a really swinging shot to get a move, a second day move. So let's definitely keep an eye on there. Some other notable names, right? Some other notable names that were very, very strong today is Carvana. Right? Ridiculous short interest in the stock. If you go through the option montage, right, you're going to see a lot of deep in the money calls, very significant bets. If you go through all the option contracts, they were betting for the 220 expiration, the February 20th expiration, 425 calls nonstop with major seven-figure bets. Considering, why is that important? The stock is trading in the 470s. They were betting $50 in the money that the stock is going to have another price per share expansion cycle. And look how close this thing is to the December highs. Guys, keep an eye on Carvana tomorrow. Again, it's not like, it doesn't have like this ultra uber liquidity base. But if they start coming back for tomorrow's expiration, some deep out of the money calls, we definitely could see a potential of those December highs. So let's definitely keep an eye on Carvana for tomorrow, right? Let's keep an eye on Carvana tomorrow. Also, keep an eye on MP. I saw some interesting option flow coming into the stock. I believe it's rare earth. It's not something that I would really fixate on, but it's rare earth, I believe. I could be either uranium, rare earth, something to that degree. They were coming for this. I saw some 75 weeklies coming in for tomorrow's expiration. Let's keep an eye on it in case this thing wakes up as well. So that'll be very, very interesting. Other than that, again, big story overnight is Intel guiding lower. Again, I'm definitely watching Intel tomorrow. I am watching for, well, I'm not watching. I have a runner in Tesla, and you'll see today we only had a couple of pivots today. Okay, we only had a couple of pivots. This was the daily watch list. AMKR never confirmed. AMD, AMD is just doing AMD things. 253. Needs to build. AMD had 255 call buyers that came in pretty aggressively at the open. You see a nice pop. Really, again, AMD's has been an absolute rock star. Traded up to 256. This is, just continues to climb and potentially could test the October highs eventually. Tesla, here's the one here, 438.20. 438.20 basically needs to build, and yada, yada, yada. Here we are trading in the 449s after hours. Actually went all the way up to 451 after hours before the Intel news came. Microchip, it gapped up, but it never gave us an entry. PLTR, guys, this is a number. This is the number. Just write this down. 61. PLTR loses 61, it's going to get hit, right? Keep an eye on 61 on PLTR. Avago never confirmed, and NCLA should never confirm. But keep an eye on PLTR. Folks, again, keep this in mind. It's something kind of basic. If something doesn't go up on good news, you see what I'm saying? Something doesn't go up on good news. Well, there's only one other factor it could happen. So, guys, have a great night, everybody. Let's see. Semiconductors will give us a trade to the downside tomorrow. Let's see if we can get a second day rump on Tesla. Hopefully, all those 357.50 call buyers get paid off. Other than that, folks, if you're interested in pivots and you've been kind of stuck in the mud and the calendar has changed and you realize, well, nothing has changed in my trading for the exception of the date on the calendar. If you are interested in pivots, guys, there's an alternative to the normal, and all it takes is 30 days to see if it's a right fit for you. Guys, God bless. Have a great night and have an amazing, amazing Friday.